Welcome to Paranormal Headline News. I'm your host, Bonnie Vent. Here are your top stories. Paranormal group says Hamilton Law Office is haunted. Council gives away £375,000 manor because it's haunted. Brought to you by Genesis Creations Entertainment, who's excited to announce their DVDs are now available for rent and download on Amazon.com for as little as $1.99. Search Bonnie Vent on Amazon.com for details. A paranormal investigation is underway at a Hamilton law firm, which once served as a funeral home and now might be haunted. When attorneys with McKenzie and Snyder moved into the Dayton Street building, which sits next door to a former convent, they said weird things began happening as they renovated the space. Here's a clip.
Well, it's a story that already has a lot of you out there talking. Just moments after we reported that we were hot on the trail of paranormal activity in the tri-state, 10,000 people clicked on the link on our Facebook page. We had more than 100 likes and dozens of comments.
Well, tonight, WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson took a tour of this local law firm where things are going bump, and not just at night. Hi, Karen.
Hey guys, you know, this building here on Dayton Street in Hamilton is now a law firm, but decades ago it was a funeral home, and right next door there was a convent. Well, when attorneys moved in and started rehabbing the place several years ago, they noticed weird things happening, and that recently prompted a call to paranormal investigators. 229 Dayton Street.
We think this may have been the first official funeral home in Hamilton.
The property comes with quite a story.
This is the walkway, the enclosed walkway where they would wheel the casket. The bodies, we think, were preserved over there, and they were stored over in this big, huge cooler.
Now a law office, employees at McKenzie and Snyder say they're convinced spirits still linger.
Little things happened. You know, the phones would call each other.
Shadows seen in the stairwell.
Lights would go out in our computer room. The front door would open by itself.
After conducting an investigation this past weekend.
I've been doing this for a long time, and I've never seen a K2 meter quite go up that high.
The Triops Paranormal Society says they know what has employees spooked. In a room of what was part of the convent,
the divining rods kept going and aiming that way.
Paranormal investigators say they made contact with a young girl.
They pretty much came to the conclusion that she was living with the nuns. She had been given up by her family because she had these mental disorders that the family didn't know what to do with. They determined that she sits in the window and looks out into the courtyard. This is the basement area where we had major activity happening down here.
Down here, they made contact with a boy named Timmy. During Triop's investigation, they say he moved this chair and flickered the flashlight.
When we touched the flashlight was just like ice cold, like it had been sitting in a bucket of ice for hours.
I don't know why these people are here, but they are here. I believe it.
And you know, guys, to be honest, walking through the building, I didn't really feel anything at all until we got to the attic up there. Investigators say that a mother and boy had lived up there. They were servants and they died in a fire. And I know there are a lot of skeptics out there, people who don't believe this, that are rolling their eyes at me. But I have to admit that the investigations that this Paranormal Society is doing here in Hamilton definitely has a lot of people talking, believe it or not. Reporting live tonight in Hamilton, Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.
Wymering Manor in Portsmouth is said to be haunted by a choir of nuns who scuttle across hallways, as well as a host of unseen hands which reach out and touch passersby. The property, thought to be the oldest house in Portsmouth, having been mentioned in the 1086 Doomsday Book, was placed on sale at an auction with a reserve price of £375,000 last year, but failed to sell. Portsmouth City Council have now donated the Grade 2 listed building to the Wymering Manor Trust, along with a £30,000 grant for repair work. The group will attempt to restore the house to its former glory, estimated at a total cost of more than £500,000, before opening it as a tourist attraction. The spirits of whispering children and Sir Roderick of Portchester, who was murdered outside the manor in the Middle Ages, are said to be among the ghosts haunting the property. Ghost hunters have reported the sudden drops in temperature and other strange apparitions that go on inside the building. David Scanla, who used to live in the house, said he hadn't had any problems with the ghosts, but he had seen them. Portsmouth City Council bought the property in the 1960s and leased it to the Youth Hostel Association until 2006. Jeremy Lamb, a chartered surveyor who tried to sell the property in 2010, said, "It's certainly a unique house." Although they patrol it on a 24-hour basis because it attracts lots of people who are intrigued by its level of paranormal activity, they refuse to work alone there at night. Thanks for joining us today on Paranormal News. For more information on these stories, please go to www.sdparanormal.com and the Paranormal News feed page. Don't forget, sign up for a free subscription to Paranormal News. If you'd like to sponsor or advertise on Paranormal News, please send us an email at paraxnews@aol.com or join us at bonevent.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Bonnie Vent.